wow. I like that little sound cue there at the beginning, courtesy of David, I think. Thank you so much. Well, welcome everybody to Folk U. This is our 28th remote edition. I had to check my math down here, where we have migrated online. You know why that happened. And through these last couple of years, we finally reached 28 shows, at least in this current format. There were a couple of early attempts to do this online version that just didn't work out, but whatever, we're at 28, feeling pretty good. I'm so pleased to be joined by the two songwriters with me tonight, Carey and Farrell. Carey and David Hinske. I like how I noticed we've all gone. I have my middle initial, which stands for nothing, by the way, just stands for O. And then Carey and Farrell. Okay, we got that. Yes, yeah. And then David, just straightforward. But David Hinske is the man, the myth, the legend here. Both of whom have played Folk U before, both iterations, the live on stage version and then the remote version. So, and right before we went on the air, I was like, I'm so glad to have you both here. They both have new stuff to promote, I think. I have newish stuff too, but I'll talk about that as it comes up. And so let me give the quick spiel as well as what I would describe this show as. So it's this is our 20th year, by the way. So as of December, we're officially in the 21st year. So this is the last show of our 20th year. But in this case, Folk U's a round robin that's been in the greater Chicagoland area for these 20 years. And round robin, if others do not know what that means, is an opportunity for songwriters to get together, play songs they've either written on their own or co-written, had a hand in writing, and in a less formal format. Sometimes the numbers of participants differs. Not sometimes, it always differs. The number of songs differs, but that's basically it. And it goes by some other names as well, but I like the round robin idea. That'll make a lot of sense to you because I will start the show off and then Carey will follow and then David will follow her. And then lo and behold, it comes around to me again. So thus the round robin idea. And I think that's it. I always start the shows. Carey, David, anything you want to say before I send you down to the green room for the grapes and the alcohol?
If people are you able to see if people are listening live?
Well, it says I see an I and a 1 right there, but the numbers will be different sometimes, so it's hard for me to gauge exactly what's happening because we're going through StreamYard, but we are the broadcast itself is going out on Facebook. So,
well, if anybody, I would suggest that anybody that's watching, feel free to comment, and we can respond when we're not actively, entertaining.
Yes. That says a lot right there. Yeah, you've already set the bar pretty high, and it's pretty high for me. I'm not sure if I can manage the entertaining. I can squawk a little, but then again, I suppose you could be doing it while you're playing as well, which would be, leaning into the art performance here. I think, right?
Oh, here we go.
See, it's happening. It's happening. Oh, look at that! I'm not even there. All right, let's see.
All right.
So we're getting the heart already.
Thank you, Jack.
Oh, the love is flowing. Ooh, wow.
David Epstein and Jack.
Oh, thank you, David.
Wow. So I tell you what, I will let you guys get ready for your first sets. I will start this thing off. Feel free to communicate with our watchers and listeners. And
cheers.
Super pleased to have you both here.
All right. Hello, Tess. Good to see you.
I had to let him say hi to Tess. See you in a bit.
This might be BFF. Hi, Tess.
Okay. So beginning is always the tough part for me, kind of getting through the bells and whistles as I see it, as covering all the bases, not a lot of bases to cover, and then just kind of getting it started. And then for the guests, who, once again, I'm so pleased to have, they're just probably like, yeah, let's get going. So, and here I am just slowing things down. So yes, thank you for being here. I mean, it only kind of dawned on me as I was saying that this is our 20th year, that actually November show is officially the last of our 20th year, and I used to not do December shows for Folk U, and that was just because of well, you don't need to know. I would kind of give it a break in December. And we do have a December show this year. So we're going to have the first show, the third Friday of December of our 21st year. So please, if you enjoy what you see tonight, come back for that. Even if you don't enjoy it, come back, because it'll be all different except for me. But I'm sure you're going to love it tonight. So Carey and David have new stuff. I think they have, I know Carey does, and and David does as well. They have new albums that are out. I have, I'm going to be playing all new stuff, new-ish stuff tonight. And it's, whatever phase of this pandemic that people think we're in, or are choosing to live as if we're in, things have just been weird for the last couple of years. And one of the things that was so gratifying for me, I have a band as well as doing this songwriter stuff. And there's a lot of overlap between them, but one of the things that's so great is the being able to get together and play with other people, especially if you're playing together on the same song, working it out. And for me, that's what a band is all about: playing with other people, letting them bring to it what they will bring to it, as opposed to how I might envision it when it starts. So we finally started practicing again. The band's called The Injured Parties, and we have a third album we're hoping to start working on early next year, which is just around the corner. And it's just been a blast to get back together with those guys. Just a power trio, so a bass player and drummer, but man, it makes all the difference. So even if I'm playing songs that some people out there might have heard before, they might be slightly different because they have changed under the tutelage of my bandmates. But it's all stuff that's earmarked for this third album, yet untitled, that we're going to start recording soon. And this first one might be the newest, literally, song of this set. And it's called "I'm a Little Disappointed in Myself." So let me get this going. I'm a little disappointed in myself. I didn't do that thing I should have done. I didn't get up early and have a run. Kept my eyes closed to the rising sun. I'm a little disappointed in myself. I raised my voice when it didn't need to be. All I was thinking about was me. Wish I could lay myself across my knee. I'm a little disappointed in myself. I really wanted to come out to your show. It meant a lot to you, I know. I promise next time I'll go. I'm a little disappointed in myself. I miss testifying for you in court. I helped some kids build a tree fort. and drop my neighbor at the airport. I'm a little disappointed in myself. Is this the boy my parents raised to be the man everyone praised and spoke of thankful and amazed? I'm a little disappointed in myself. Perhaps I raised the bar too high. I'm only human, one day I'll die. All this potential unrealized. I'm a little disappointed in myself. I'm gonna put these thoughts to bed, shove them right out of my head, making room for something pleasanter instead. Oh, thank you. I see the phantom claps. Thank you so much. Yeah, so that little modulation there at the end, that's one of the things that we worked out with the band. Some of this stuff might still go through some other changes, but you know, we're getting it down there. So yeah, wow, that felt good. All right. This next one is it's in the new pile, but it's definitely not new, and it goes back. Wow, I shudder to think of how many years actually, but to when the city of Detroit went bankrupt, and then they had to pull themselves out of it. And I'm a Michigander, and so this kind of rubbed me the wrong way in a lot of different ways, from a lot of different angles. And around the same time as well, I was reading, it's probably in the same paper, something about the use of drones and how drones were not just being used, for as war mechanisms, but like they'd become easy to buy for the average person. And so somehow the notion of drones and the bankruptcy of Detroit kind of fused into this idea for this one song. And it's called Drones Over Detroit. And I think I'm going to play it and shut up. And hey, Rose Kessel, nice to see you here. Well, to see you here. Appreciate it. Here we go. Woke up this morning to a curious sound, the buzz of 1,000 bees all around. Looked out the window, what did I see? Blotting out the sun infinitely. Over Detroit, drones. Over Detroit, drones. Over Detroit, drones. What could I do? There was nowhere to run. If I were a target, I was undone. saw my friend Ahmed mouthing a prayer. Just then an explosion and he wasn't there. Drones over Detroit, drones over Detroit, drones over Detroit, drones. I sleep like a baby, I keep my ears plugged, and never feel nervous on anti-anxiety drugs. Hard to remember when the skies were clear. Now I'd like to forget how we wound up here. Collateral damage at the end of the day. Statistical anomalies in arm's way of drones. Over Detroit, 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 Woo! There's the boom. Yes. And I have to say really quickly, Nick Juno, who has graced this cyber stage, another fellow Michigander, as he says, greetings from Michigan. And perfect timing, Nick, if you wanted to make a Detroit-style appearance, you picked the right song for it, I think. Oh, and he's got some more. Well, I'll get to all that in a minute. So, because this is Carey's time to shine. Carey, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
Hello, good. How are you, Larry?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I like to get the beginning of the show done, the kind of general introductions, and just kind of get things going. And then I like to get through my first set, and after that, it's just I start to get high as a kite, and then nothing matters. You know what I mean? And speaking of that, let me engage in a little bit more. Where am I again? Oh yes, okay. So yeah, you do have a new album, I know, Carey. So you'll be talking about it and playing from it tonight, I am sure. So
I sure will, yeah. But
you want to make any assumptions? Yeah.
First, I decided to do something that's not on the album because I'm feeling adventurous. It inspired me playing the new stuff, which was awesome, by the way. Oh. And I was totally feeling that first song because I did that thing yesterday where I promised to go to a show and then I didn't make it, and then just beat myself up about it for the rest of the night. But hopefully my friend still knows that I love her and that I support her, even if I can't get out of bed because it's so dark outside.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing, right? I mean, the cold, we know the cold's coming, but also when that clock goes back, right. It couldn't set the bar any lower for any of that stuff. The simplest thing, it's like, yeah, it's too dark. Yeah, I can't manage that right now, right? Yeah. What is it? 4:30, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, I certainly know that feeling. But just refer them to that song, and then maybe they'll see the ridiculousness of it on my part anyway. So. All right, I will let you get to it. My guess is you would like to, and once again, thrilled to have you back. We'll always love to hear you.
Thank you.
Let me be out of your hair.
Now it is the Carey Show. Okay. So, like I said, I'm gonna start with a song that's not on any album, and then once I get the scary thing over with, I'll play something that is actually on the album that I know little bit better. Well, let's do something new together. This is called What Tipped the Scales. I wonder what you would think if I asked you. I wonder what you would say if you would give me the hardest truth, or just weigh my worries away. What tipped the scales in my favor? What tipped the scales in my favor? What tipped the scales in my favor? A sentimental request for kindness, a guilty conscience review, a half-remembered obsession, or just a lucky thought passing through. What tipped the scales in my favor? What tipped the scales in my favor? What tipped the scales in my favor? Somebody tell me this is a perfect match. I am a perfect catch. Somebody tell me, give me the chance to take all your words to heart before we fall apart. When you can't sell me all misattributed words of wisdom, no helpful little cliche can shake the deepest of my convictions, but you can try anyway. What tipped the scales in my favor? 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 Somebody tell me. What tipped the scales in my favor? Somebody tell me. What tipped the scales in my favor? So that is a new song, and the story behind that one, besides it being just a song about imposter syndrome, which I live with all the livelong day, is people often tell me that I sound like Amy Mann, and so I wrote the most Amy Mann song that ever Amy Manned, and had so much fun doing it, and can't wait for that to be like realized in a full band setting. And yep, so see, we're getting chat. Hopefully everything is okay. Amy, man. All right. Here's a song off my new album. The album's called Someone Else's Wings, and it is my debut album. I've been doing the singer-songwriter thing for a really long time, and just never put an album out, was intimidated by the whole process. And I think the pandemic kind of pushed me to just do it, and I could not be happier with the way it turned out. So here's a song from it. It's called Reunion. We got in the car and flew to see the king. Though when he didn't owe us anything, we gathered all around his throne. He stepped up to his microphone and told us he'd forgotten how to sing a lover sound. They're tearing the posters down all over town. They're tearing the whole thing down, down, down. Hadn't been back home in years. We'd thrown away most of our souvenirs. We chased a lot of other stars. We traveled fast, traveled far and seen a lot of dreamers disappear all over town. We're tearing the posters down all over town. We're tearing the whole thing down, down, down. No one remembers the old songs. No one can mend the old wrongs. Everything else has changed, changed, changed. So why are we still the same? Hey, hey, hey. You didn't ask us how we've been. We didn't want to play, remember when? We couldn't help him find his voice. We didn't know him anymore. It was too late to fall in love again. All over town. They're tearing the posters down all over town. Tearing the whole thing down. They're tearing the posters down all over town. They're tearing the whole thing down, down, down. David.
Good song.
Thanks so much.
That's new?
First one is newish. Second one is very old.
Oh, okay.
But just came out on the album that came out last month. So
cool. Where can people find your album?
Oh, good question. CareyFarrell.bandcamp.com, or Spotify, or any of those places where you can stream music.
Cool.
Or you can come to my record release show if you want to on Tuesday at Montrose Saloon, and I will have actual physical copies of the CD.
Montrose is cool.
I love Montrose Saloon. It's such a great place. Yeah.
What time will you be there?
I'm playing from 8 till 9, and then I get off the stage for the jazz jam.
Very cool.
Which I will not be participating in, but.
Excellent. Well, I hope to see you. Oh, Tuesday. Oh, I got family coming in.
Never mind. Yeah. Oh, I know. Thanksgiving.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool.
Yeah.
Nice songs.
Thanks.
Oh, my turn. Here's an uplifting song about child abuse. James, I'd like to have more time together, but I gotta leave this here behind. Two things I can't change. One's the weather, and the other one is your mama's mind. Your daddy's been away. Now he says he's home to stay. Feels to me like rain falling down. If I hear it in the wind that he's beating you again, swear to God I'll put him in the ground. just nothing you did that made this happen. There's things people do I can't explain. Some people bring you sunny weather, some just bring the rain. So you won't be alone. Here's a number of my phone. Don't be afraid to call it right out now. I guess this is goodbye, but I can't tell you why. Just be a good boy, make your mama proud. James, I'd like to have more time together, but I gotta leave this here behind. There's two things I can't change. One's the weather, the other one is your mama's mind. So there's that one. Here's one from my next album that won't be out till next fall. It was foggy when I climbed out of bed at 5. Couldn't see my neighbors through the haze. Couldn't see the streets, couldn't see the trees, couldn't see the future of our ways. Maybe things get better, it's just so hard to see. Didn't think this fog was here to stay. Found my coat and gloves and headed for the bus. Just trying to make it through the day. Cold winter coming on, cold winter in our homes. Feel it in the air, in our bones. Cold winter in our hands, cold bites through our clothes. Feel it in our hearts, in our souls. The kindness of a stranger, bright and shining star. Hope arrives in unexpected ways. The smile of a lover, some coffee in your jar. Hope arrives on your darkest day. They tell me spring is coming. They say it won't be long. They say it every year and in this song. Keep your fingers crossed. Keep your family tight. Hope comes to celebrate the night. Hope comes tonight. comes tonight.
Wow. Yes, indeed. I had to get my camera switched on to bring the applause to you there.
Thanks, Larry.
Yeah. Oh, no. Always a pleasure to hear you. And it's just like I was trying to think of who you were reminding me of there. So the timbre of your voice, you know, something that I might have even thought about when I first heard you play. And have you been compared to anybody, David? Well, you would agree. You would agree. Maybe it's somebody that I'm just not thinking of. I mean, maybe that'll ring a bell.
I don't know. I don't know that it's any. No, I'll just say no.
I mean, now that I think of it, it's kind of like an awkward question, you know, it's like, I'm always curious if people say, you know, I used to get Lou Reed all the time. I mean, I'm about as far in so many ways from Lou Reeddom. I love Lou Reed, but it's like, but it's the voice, you know, I had that kind of reedy voice, reedy as in Lou Reedy and also reedy sounding. And so I'm always curious to hear that stuff. And I just didn't know if someone had said, oh, you remind me of X or Y, because there was something that was just like hovering in the back of my brain and I couldn't think of it. But
it'll come to you, I guess.
What was that?
It'll come to you, I guess.
Well, maybe, but you know what ultimately could be, it's nothing's coming because there's only David Hinske. And I'm haunting myself trying to come up with superlatives that should only be going to you.
Well, if you have to haunt somebody, might as well be yourself.
Yeah, I think so. And you know, we're doubly lucky to have you because you sprained your wrist, you said. Yeah.
Yeah, I took some pain reliever earlier. It comes and goes. I'm afraid, you know, and I don't know how old you are, Larry, but I'm closing in on 70, and you know, I'm a little afraid that maybe it's arthritis.
Oh, dude, yeah. I've largely avoided those things, although I'm having some weird shoulder pain that could be it, because I can't figure out what it would be otherwise. And, you know, I went to urgent care just to make sure I hadn't torn something. And they're like, no, you know, hemming and hawing around, probably it's arthritis, you know?
Yeah.
But one will find out eventually, I guess, when it doesn't matter anymore.
Well, I think the secret is just to stay, you know, keep everything as active as you can.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't make a lot of dumb moves, although it's usually the time when you're just caught off guard that
good for you.
Yeah, well,
I make a lot of dumb moves.
Well, I make a lot of mentally dumb moves, but I think I generally, when it comes to stuff like don't lift that or something like that, I'm pretty good at being the first person to say, that's not something I should be doing.
Yeah. Have my wife come and do that.
Yeah, that's. I'll call her in the future too. So
all right, I can arrange that.
But I'm so happy that you made it because last month we had somebody that had to cancel close to the date because she had to fly out of town because she had her mother was sick.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, I think I can work it. I can do it from Texas where she was going to. And I thought, the last thing you need to be doing if you're flying home to be with your sick mother is to think, at 7:30 or what would the time be in Texas, whatever, I need to be online for this. So
maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe a distraction, kind of a relief valve, though, in a way, though, too.
Well, I think that's why she's the one who brought it up, and I thought maybe it would be helpful. And I actually put it to her. I said, well, if it's something that would be good for you to do, and then finally she was like, probably I shouldn't do it. And so I was thinking, it was a dual point. Like last month, I had to find somebody kind of late, and it's a little irritating to have to do that, but totally, understandable. But I was also wanting to hear her. And it's the same thing here. It was like, oh yeah, what's the worst thing you can do? Hurt your wrist if you're a guitar player, right? Well, piano player, any kind of musician.
Yeah, this one. It's right in here where I go to grip. Right now I can feel it, but like I said, I had some painkillers and I'll make it through. I've only got 3 songs left. So
yeah, you can't tell from your performing at all,
Between painkillers and
that's helping.
Miller
High Life, yeah.
If anybody from Miller High Life is watching, I'll email me and I'll send you my address.
Way to network, David. Nice. Nice. All right. Well, I will let you relax a little bit. You know, put some ice on it or put the Miller up against it. I think that'll help. And we'll see you on the next pass.
Okay.
So glad you could make it.
Likewise.
Okay. All right. Wow. Great job, both of them. Carey, David, thank you so much. And there is some good comments flowing here too. Let me just double check something really quick over here. Okay, I'm just looking at some, making sure that there's no danger in our little setup here. So, yeah, wow. So happy to have them here. Always good to hear them both. I was kind of musing also on the different backgrounds here. You know, we're all going for the real deal, at least as much as it is. Maybe my background is some highly stylized CGI, but no. And, you know, so you've got me, you've got Carey, who's got a very nice looking, you know, a background as well, very personal. And then David as well. Oh God, thank God he's gone. But it's just kind of very austere, like songs from a room kind of thing going on. And the beautiful natural echo in the room too. So he probably has it all mapped out. Everything that's in there will, you know, work with the acoustical qualities of the performance here tonight, because actually he does have this great natural echo coming on his voice. So whatever. I'm maybe thinking about it too much, but that is indeed the Dean style. So, all right. Second set, usually a good place to be. And I've got the first song here, again, from the new pile, but definitely was one I was performing even back when we were in the live version on stage. And this song, I used to play it a little bit differently, and I think I'm going to play it a lot more like the band does it now. Of course, if you'd heard it before, you might understand what the difference is. I guess maybe just it was a little more somber, maybe, believe it or not, the way I was playing it before. And it's definitely when we were running through it the other night, when we first made the switch, which was not my call. Someone just said, yeah, hey, we should maybe be doing this. Doing it this way, I thought it reminded me of the Modern Lovers, that first Modern Lovers album, and the general feel. And if you don't know it, it's the self-titled one. You know, everybody should own that album. Great songs, and just the feel of it is like completely its own. So anyway, this reminded me of it in terms of the feel that we've got worked up for it now. The title will be obvious when we get to the chorus, so I kind of don't want to telegraph that quite yet. Here we go. It starts in A. I know you're feeling funny. Things have been a little weird. You've been acting distant, but it's worse than I feared. You call it a midlife crisis, with all that it entails. Instead of leasing a Jaguar, you've been blasting out emails. Don't send me your dick pics. For them I never asked. Don't send me your dick pics, or I'll just have to send them back. Don't you find it inappropriate? Doesn't it seem kinda wrong and dumb using a smartphone and texting me your schlong? It's not that I am prudish, I keep an open mind, but when opening an attachment, it's not a dick I hope to find. Don't send me your dick pics. Don't send send them to me. Don't send me your dick pics. It's something I just can't unsee. Maybe you need a vacation. You've been working every day. I never guessed that overtime was being used in quite this way. This way. Hope you learned your lesson. This kind of thing won't do. I expect to never again receive any dick pics from you. And if the urge should strike, you shouldn't snort and scoff. It may be the only answer then is to chop that dick right off. Don't send me your dick pics. For them I never asked. Don't send me your dick pics, or I'll just have to send them back. Or I'll just have to send them back. Or I'll just have to send one back. Lord. Yes, so I think it was our drummer Mike who said who suggested this kind of like more amped up version. He's like, those lyrics sound kind of angry to me. It seems like instead of the way we've been playing it, maybe we should like play a little more aggressively. And I was like, yeah, I think you're right. So I know that also, you know, being a songwriter, you know, those little like those little pickup notes and turnarounds and stuff, I'm still working them in the acoustic version, but it's just me and a lot of like demonic strumming going on with the band version. So wow, that felt good. I hope you enjoyed it. The song, maybe not the dick pics, or maybe if you enjoy dick pics, you know, go for it. Good for you. This next song, the second of the second set here, is called Q's Gone Dark. I have been playing it on here quite a bit, and that's the letter Q. And so you can probably guess what that has to do with this QAnon crap. You know, thankfully, maybe I shouldn't say thankfully, but it's, you know, some lessening of the anxiety that the recent midterm elections, a lot of the election denier stuff didn't pan out, thank God. And it seems like some of that has quieted down, although being definitely a glass half empty guy, I imagine that it will rise up yet again. And so this is a song about, you know, that and all kinds of other stuff. Q's Gone Dark. Q's gone dark. It's wait and see while I'm stocking shelves at the Piggly Wiggly. Q's gone dark, but when he's back, I got sticks and stones for the big attack. Q's gone dark, it'll take me a little while before we root out some more cannibalistic pedophiles. Q's gone dark. It's not just me who's itching to engage in some anarchy. Kroger Karen's here, Whitefish Karen too, and she's been in touch with some boogaloos. Q's gone dark, please don't panic, every Democrat's a closet satanic. Q's gone dark, but he's got a plan. The storm is brewing from inside of a van, parked in the lot, Area 51, where he mops the halls and scrapes up gum. Q's gone dark at the pizza parlor. Patriots like me will make the cabal holler. Q's gone dark, please don't panic, every Democrat's a closet satanic. I did the same thing last time, didn't I?
Yes, it gets funnier every time.
Oh, yes. Wow.
Repetition.
Wow. So, yeah, well, QAnon. Who would have thought we would have lived to this moment in history, Carey? Am I right?
Right. You gave us a lot to process in that set. There's a lot to think about.
Yeah, you know what? That wasn't really intentional, or maybe it was. Like in the back burner of my mind, I thought maybe put the Dick song and then the QAnon song in the middle there, kind of gently coax them in and then go all out. So,
right.
Good. Well, great. I guess I'm as befuddled by it as anyone else. So, and we had a moment there where David down, it looks like he's back. Thank God. We had he kind of popped out, probably just, got tired of the whole thing, but thank God he's back. So,
yeah.
I will let you go. I will let you play.
Okay, cool.
And looking forward to it. All right. See you on the other side. Okay.
All right. So here's a song about dick pics. Now, I do actually have a song about dick pics that I wrote with my friend Jessica Hebert. We have an occasional duo called The Basic B Words, and one of our collaborations was a dick pic song to the tune of I Had a Little Dreidel, because why not? And I had a trombone solo in it. I want to say somewhere it's on YouTube, but also maybe don't try searching YouTube for dick pic, unless I guess you want a lot of dick pics. Oh, goodness. This is why I shouldn't be left alone. This is why I should not be left alone, Larry. Here's a song from my album. It's called Irish Goodbye. When I'm alone, I still pick up the phone and check up on you. and all of the hundreds of others I used to call friends. So I saw the news, and I couldn't refuse you my sympathy. But know that the click of a heart, where it starts and it ends, I've been planning since the day we met. I've been planning since the day we met. Forever, Irish goodbye. Ever, Irish goodbye. When we collided, first I decided to steal myself. The next time you tried to persuade me, but I stood my ground. Third was the charm that lay in your arms for an afternoon. Ever since then, I pretended that I'm not around. 'Cause I've been planning since the day we met. I've been planning since the day we met. Forever, Irish goodbye. Ever, Irish goodbye. I said I was queen of deserting the sea, but I fooled myself. I said I was through writing songs about you, but I lied. So how would it feel to be halfway to healed and then fall again? To open the doors that I slammed and rush back to your side. 'Cause I've been planning since the day we met. I've been planning since the day we met. Forever, Irish goodbye. Ever, Irish goodbye. Ever, Irish goodbye. Ever, Irish goodbye. So that's Irish goodbye. And here's my next one. So I'm a teacher for a living, a preschool teacher, actually. And sometimes people think like, oh, why don't you write some fun songs like inspired by your work? Won't that be like fun and cute? It is not fun and cute because it comes out like this. This is a power pop song about attachment theory, and it's called Strange Situation. I had organized my heart close and careful from the start. Setting portraits on display, nothing ever out of place. I had organized my heart. Then you blew it like a storm, setting off all my alarms. Laugh my worried thoughts away. Promise me that you would stay. Then you blew away like a storm. I can't see through one-way glass. I can't argue with my past. You left me in a strange situation. You left me in a strange situation. Pull the blanket to your eyes. Promise me a sweet surprise. What you get is what you see, and there's nothing here for me. Pull the blanket to your eyes. In an unfamiliar room, someone else's stale perfume. Turn around to seek your face, but you left without a trace. In an unfamiliar room, I can't see through one-way glass. I can't argue with my past. You left me in a strange situation. You left me in a strange. You told me don't be so sensitive, baby. Everyone always comes back. Everyone always comes back. You told me don't take it personally, baby. What if you never come back? What if you never come back? Watch for signs of your return. Leave the light on, let it burn. Sing a hopeful lullaby, know that every word's a lie. Watch for signs of your return. I can't see through one-way glass. I can't argue with my past. You left me in a strange situation. You left me in a strange situation. Hey, David.
Well, that was fun.
Thank you.
Y'all have better lighting than I do.
I have no overhead lighting in this room, so I have tried to make up for it with lamps.
Well, it works.
Everywhere.
You and Larry both look warmer in your lighting. My lighting apparently is cold. I didn't realize it until
austere.
now. You know, it's really not. It's just the direction that you're facing.
Fine. Yeah.
There's all kinds of stuff here. Okay. Well.
All right. Looking forward to your next set.
Here I go. I am a standby player in God's eternal game, where each decade passes like chalk art in the rain. Four cows out in a field, 3 apples in a bowl, 2 lovers in a bed, 1 angel in the snow. Let the clouds carry me. I will myself to fly. Goodbye to all things heavy. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Four words in a letter, 3 knots tied in a row, 2 boots of different colors, 1 angel in the snow. Let the sun rise, light me up. My clothes are damp with dew. Hello to every morning. Hello, hello to you. 4 cows out in a field, 3 apples in a bowl, 2 lovers in a bed, 1 angel in the snow. One angel in the snow. Here's an old one. A cannon went off that day, straight down and blown away. If you come back my way, 7 reasons you won't stay. Six promises never said, up in your head. plays that same song. 5 times I was wrong. For days on my own, ripcord telephone, moonshine, dog and gun, 3 fires burning down. Two times I call your name, no reason, no blame. In the distance I can see one horse running free, running free, running free.
Oh, I was just hanging there waiting to see is there some more coming.
That's the end. That was the end.
Sounded great. Sounded great.
Yeah, the engineer, when I recorded that in Memphis, said, "So what is that last chord?" And I said, I don't know.
I like to call those chords J's. You know, I'll say, well, that's a J7, I think, you know, just to perplex them. And, you know, I maybe at one point I'm thinking whoever would ask that, and they might go, oh, yeah, you know.
The J chord. Sure.
Yeah, the J's, of course, the J9, maybe a ninth. I'm not sure. Yeah, are you self-taught, David?
I took lessons when I was 9, so over a half a century ago, for about 6 months. I'm a belligerent. I'm belligerent when it comes to being a student. So you know, self-taught is a funny thing. I don't know. I've played with a lot of people over the years, and you know, you pick up stuff from people, listening to records and sitting around. You're sitting around in my austere
Your austere digs there?
Yeah, kind of. You know, I think my influences I kind of wear on my sleeve to a degree. And then at some point, I think all of us just kind of go off in our, you know, get our own feel for who we are and how we want to play.
I mean, that's the best of that would be the best instance, right? Where you step away from whatever the influence is, you know, keep what you want, get rid of the rest, you know.
Yeah.
It sounds like similar paths, because I took guitar lessons when I was younger too. I think I was in junior high, and kind of enough to get the book that had the, you know, that the guy recommended to me that had all the chords in it. Pre-internet now, it's easy enough for me to look up those J9 chords on the internet.
Oh, but man,
you know, it was a book of chords, and I was like, oh.
These darn kids have it so easy these days.
Yeah, exactly.
You can watch a YouTube video, and I'm not kidding. It's like split between 2 screens, and it's Steve Howe playing the opening to a roundabout, you know. And you can watch both of his hands. I mean, he'll tell you he shows you exactly how he plays it. I had to learn that off there. You know, we all scratched records. We all picked the needle up. You pick I can't tell which hand I'm supposed to be using. Pick the needle. I don't know. It's confusing because it's backwards. But you know, you pick the needle up and drop it down in the same place like over and over, and it's, you know, end up scratching your record. But eventually,
you mean trying to learn the part because you're listening to it over and over.
Yeah. Or even you know, write down the lyrics or learn the chords or you know, any and all of that.
Right.
Now you just go, these kids, get off my lawn.
Well, some of that stuff is pretty amazing that's out there. You know, I'm more interested in the ones where it's like the, you know, the little incredible players that are out there. Cause I'm certainly not that, I'm always referring to my own playing style as rather primitive. And I do have my moments where I'll be like, how did I pull that off? But I don't know if I ever really wanted to be, I mean, maybe this is sour grapes, but like, super, dexterous at ripping off a guitar solo or anything. I'd probably be totally of another mind if I could get away with it, but I think
I'm with you on that. Speed impresses me for about like 3 or 4 seconds, but melody or some kind of melodic playing is stuff that I really appreciate.
Yeah, it's a whole different story, right? Like somebody that's a super melodic player.
Yeah.
Well, you're sounding great there in the House of Ost. You got one more?
It's not really. I wish I could. There's all kinds of stuff in here. You just can't see it from the angle that.
I meant that in the best possible way. It's just kind of dawned on me because sometimes I'll be on one of these. This isn't Zoom, but like let's say it's Zoom, and it's like everyone will have the fake background up there, and it's kind of or the blurred out background, and it's like the idea of the fake background is kind of funny. I remember early on thinking, oh, that'd be great. I'll pick something really wild to put back there. But I just kind of I find it interesting to see where a person happens to be. And I take nothing from it like, that's indicative of them necessarily. I just know it's a spot.
Now you've got me looking at your background. Whether those it's CDs or those CDs or DVDs?
It's books. It's piles of CDs that have nowhere else to go. It's a typewriter. Oh, not right up at the very top, manual typewriter.
Wow. Typewriter.
Case and the vent, which is pumping out. Wow, now I'm confused about pumping out the. Wow, oh wow, this is a test, isn't it?
I know. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I'm definitely failing on the neurological front.
Yeah, right. So I had the pleasure of being in the offices at Hitsville in Detroit. So this is probably 10 years ago now. And, Martha Reeves was at one time, she was the receptionist there.
Right.
And there's two stories. Anyway, somebody didn't show up to sing. I guess it was, I don't remember what it was. Anyway, one of her big songs. Yeah. And they said, hey, Martha, come in here and lay down a reference track. And she went in and killed it. And she became a star because the lead vocalist didn't show up. But anyway, I'm standing there with some other people in the offices, and like this 9-year-old kid standing next to me, and he's pointing at the typewriter, and he's going, "So, Mom," to not to me, but to his mom, "What's that?"
Why am I not surprised? Yeah. Well, I mean, this is I got in a thrift store when I lived in San Francisco, and it's an old Reporters. It's a Corona. It's not a Smith Corona. It's before they merged, and it's a Corona typewriter that locks into the case, and Reporters would take it with them. I haven't used it in a long time. I made an effort to use it at one point, and this is a number of years ago, and that even at that point, the ribbons were already getting scarce, but manual typewriters are things of beauty, just as a like a perfect little machine. Yeah. But what do? I handwrite stuff, or I do a lot of writing straight into the, my laptop, Yeah, I do. But I admire very few things as beautiful as a manual typewriter or a bicycle, just like a perfect little machine. Yeah. You don't see that in so much you don't see what goes on when I'm typing on the keyboard here, but you definitely know what's going on when you're typing with this thing.
Yeah. And the bell dinging when you get to the end of the row and you got to push the carriage back.
Right.
And, yeah. Those were
certain beauty in that.
Those were the good old days.
Yeah, exactly. Get off my lawn. Right. Yeah. Well, all right. I better get to my my song once again. So good to have you. Looking forward to what you have on your last pass, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
Okie dokie.
All right. can see I can go down these little rabbit holes of conversations, which is part of what this is about. Yeah, for sure. But you're here for the music, right? At least these guys are bringing the music. I'm not sure what I'm bringing. The venue. So, all right. I've got one more from this forthcoming Injured Parties album. And this might actually, now that I think of it, and again, not by design that this would be the last one here, but this might actually be the oldest song in this group. Maybe Drones Over Detroit's a little older, but it's called Thoughts and Prayers. So I think I can telegraph that without any real dangers here. But there's definitely some things in here that date it. This goes back at least to 2016, because the first line mentions there was a fire at Dollywood. I think there's been more than I think there was another one a couple years ago too, but this would go back to the initial fire at Dollywood that was kind of happening at the time and sparked the song. And Carey was saying she's a teacher. I'm a teacher as well. I teach higher ed, but I also work as a poet in residence in the public schools, teaching poetry. And there's this whole notion with any kind of creative writing, not notion. Richard Hugo wrote an essay called The Triggering Town. And then there's a book called The Triggering Town. And it's all about where do you get the inspiration for the pieces that you write? In his case, poems, but it could also be songs. And it's like the trigger, the thing that actually starts it, is not necessarily going to be in place when it's done. It's like the whole point is just getting the writing started and getting the process going. And one should never feel that you have to hold on to that initial impulse or that initial idea. In this case, it was the whole Dollywood fire that started it, but of course, then it morphs into some other things that I think will be apparent. So let me play it so we can keep this train a-going. Thoughts and Prayers. Dollywood's in danger. Flames are getting close. The firemen of Pigeon Forge almost gave up the ghost. But while the world was watching, smoke vanished in the air. Thanks to our collective thoughts and prayers. A jet up in the sky on a routine flight, dropped off of the radar in the middle of the night. The relatives all gathered at the airport where they shared an emotional outpouring of thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers, prayers and thoughts, tossed anywhere, just waiting to be caught. There's a bombing at a mosque and a shooting at a school, and poisons in the pipes, rusty water rushes through. Everyone was saddened once they were made aware, immediately with thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers, prayers and thoughts, tossed anywhere, just waiting to be caught. The polar caps are melting, the ice is getting thin. Penguins stuck in the slush doze off and dream that when they wake up, it all will be repaired miraculously by thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers, prayers and thoughts, tossed anywhere, just waiting to be caught. Thoughts and prayers, prayers and thoughts, tossed anywhere, just waiting to be caught. Thoughts and prayers, prayers and thoughts, tossed anywhere, just waiting. Weren't sure if that was going to resolve now, right?
Yeah.
Even I was thinking about it. Do I want? No, it's best to leave that one alone, I think so. Oh, all right. Well, great. Carey, everything going okay? Been having a good time here? You can be honest.
Time. Absolutely, yes, as always.
Yeah. It's so good to have you back. And you know that the Amy Mann thing you said before, yeah, I kind of hear that a little bit in the voice and even in the structure of some of the songs.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a comparison I'd love to have. You know, speaking of,
I'm all for it.
Yeah. I mean, there's not many Amy Manns out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will put your info up. I did it for David as well, so I'll do that right now as you serenade us here.
All right.
And then we will see you at the end. We're going to have a big confab. We're going to light a bonfire, and we're going to sing, and but we'll get to that point when we get to it.
Looking forward to it.
Okay.
All right.
See ya.
All right, so here's my last one. This is the single off my album. Again, the album's called Someone Else's Wings, and Larry said he'll put like my website link in the comments, and you can go there and find out more about the album, where to find it, where to find me. I am all over the place in Chicago, honestly. Solo and with my marching band, Clamor and Lace Noise Brigade, and doing all kinds of stuff. But this is me solo, and this is called Elena by the Ocean. And thanks again for having me on Folk You. Always have such a great time doing this. Laid away beside the window, beside the shining lighthouse bright. Not the boats at sea are drawn to her on lonely summer nights. The latest season to my center, although she doesn't know my name. With a slightest smile, she turns her face, and I am set aflame. Elena, such a shame to brush those tears away. Elena, I would kiss them all if I could stay. I'm just another sailor, singing yet another song. And the waves, they will be calling me to leave before too long. Think of all that I could give her. Think of everything I own. I imagine us together, but I dream of her alone. Elena, such a shame to brush those tears away. Elena, I would kiss them all if I could stay. She's stuck behind the curtain, lighting on the wall. Invisible to everyone, unthinkable to all. Tethered to a sorrow by a ribbon of regret, and around the room she spins in an unending pirouette. Later, such a shame to brush those tears away. Later, I would kiss them all if I could stay. Later, wades into the ocean. Later, curls into a shell. Little wonders what might happen if she couldn't swim so well. I could be the one to save her, be the one to set her free. But I'd go a final kiss to her and she's forgotten me. Later, such a shame to brush those tears away. Later, I would kiss them all if I could stay, if I could stay, if I could, if I could stay, if I could, if I could stay, I could, I could stay, I could, if I could stay.
Oh, you caught me writing you a comment.
Oh, I feel bad. I haven't been able to really write any comments because I'm on my phone, and if I poke at my phone too hard, it and the tripod are going to come crashing down.
Sure.
Know that I'm enjoying your sets immensely.
I wrote a nice delivery. You really delivered that song nicely.
Yeah.
All right, then.
All right.
So I'm looking at your background. I'm guessing there's all those multicolored ones are personal journals. Over your, I don't know if it's left or right.
So we've got over here, we've got journals from 1985 to the present.
Wow.
And then we've got a bunch of my music books and my education books and stuff over here on this side.
Another lamp there.
And then the vinyl is on a shelf that you can't see, along with a bunch of other books.
Very cool. I have one of those really crummy record players, and so I've pulled out my vinyl, but they sound so like a cross. I've got like a Crossley.
I was gonna say, is it a Crossley?
Yeah, it's just terrible. I need to upgrade my system. Well, I really enjoyed this evening and meeting you and listening to your music.
Same. I've really enjoyed listening to your set and looking forward to hearing your last song.
Yeah, good luck to you going forward and with your first album.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited for your next one. Yeah.
Thank you. What a terrible way to start a sentence. I was running across the country, quite a few years ago now, 7, 8 years ago, across I-40. And if you go through Oklahoma on I-40, there's billboards or signage that tries to get you to pull off in any given town. They tried to persuade you with like a football player that was born in that town, or somebody that was on America's America's Worst, Best, I don't know, whatever one of those singer shows are. Anyway, right near the Texas border, there's Eric, Oklahoma, and it was Roger Miller's hometown. And that interested me. For you kids out there, back in the day, when I was like 10, there was only 60 songwriters in America, as opposed to the, I don't know, I'm guessing 6 million now. And Roger Miller was one of them. And he was a pretty cool guy. He wrote King of the Road and a bunch of songs like that. And then you'd see him on TV, and he had this kind of Southern Oklahoma accent, but you see him on TV and he always was sharp looking. He always dressed sharp, frequently had a tuxedo on. And I remember thinking when I was, I don't know, 7 or 8 or 9, thinking, oh, I'd like to be Roger Miller. That seems like a sweet gig. And Roger Miller was a songwriter when you could make money as a songwriter. So that was cool too. Anyway, make a long story short, I pulled off into Eric, Oklahoma, when searching for Roger Miller's ghost. Didn't find it, but I went into a grocery store. I think it might have been a Piggly Wiggly, and saw a checkout clerk in the grocery store. And some events transpired, but I admired her, and I'm sure she will never hear this song. I mean, I'd be shocked. Anyway, and I don't know anything about her. I just made all of this up. But anyway, she inspired me to write this song. It's called Plain Looking Woman. Mama's dad built this house after World War I. Set the kitchen window to the morning sun. Cup in her hand and her dressing gown. Plain looking woman in a Midwest town. Worked 20 years at the grocery store, watching people come through the automatic door, put their food in the small brown sacks. She'd say hey and they'd say hey back. Went out a couple times in her high school days with an earnest boy that moved away. Another cup of coffee and some rhubarb pie. 40 years gone in a blink of an eye. Hangs of clothes in a line in the yard. Life isn't easy, but it ain't too hard. Church in the morning and a chance to pray. Keep on living till her dying day. Fall asleep in a chair with a book in her lap. She never looks forward, she don't look back. Feed some cat when it comes around. Plain looking woman in a Midwest town. Mama's dad built this house after World War I. Set the kitchen window to the morning sun.
You get the little bookend of applause there, David, because
I was intimidated by going last. Gosh, I had so many good people in front of me. It's hard to go last.
I think now maybe I get when I was racking my brain before, maybe a little John Prine going on there. Part of it's the delivery and it's also the playing, especially in that last one. otherwise there ain't no comparisons. But
who's not, and he's and I live in Chicago now. I moved here 4 years ago from the middle of the high desert in New Mexico, and I have not listened to a bunch of John Prine, but now I'm in Chicago and everybody goes, "Oh, John Prine, you sound like John Prine." Yep. And I don't. Okay.
Oh yeah, you owe it to yourself for sure. And I mean, I like even that when he dabbled in more rock and roll stuff. Was Carey might be able to answer this quicker than me because she's nodding here, and I could be throwing too much weight your way, but. Is it like Storm Windows or whatever? Do you remember he had a couple of these more rock and roll albums he did for when he was signed?
I'm trying to remember the name. I'm thinking about like Ain't Hurtin' Nobody, like that song. Like that's definitely more on the rock side. I can't remember what album that's on, but
yeah. I mean, and then he came into his own and with his own Oh Boy, which is a great name for a record label, and was an early proponent of the indie singer-songwriter and having your own label and being in control of your own masters and everything else. But it's another story. But I think it's Storm Windows, and there was another one too, and they tried to make him into like a rock and roller, and that didn't fit. But those albums are great. I mean, David, anything that you were to check out by him, but I mean, especially if you get the debut album is a must hear.
I'm in control of my own masters. If anybody wants to buy my catalog.
Same, yeah.
Yeah, me too. Well, I think we're all. Yeah, ironically enough, now but Prine paved the road for us, right?
Yeah, until Spotify came along and pulled the rug out from under us.
Yeah, one millionth of a penny. That's happening right now.
Yeah. Oddly, I'm getting a lot of streams in China.
Oh,
I guess book the tour.
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it, indeed.
Yeah.
Well, I won't keep you much as I enjoying the conversation here. I know you've got other things to do, and others. I want to just say thank you so much for tuning in. Those that have left some lovely comments here. And I did get both your addresses in there for how to find you on the web here.
Yep.
And any other last comments or plugs that you guys would like to make?
Keep voting.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
2 more years. We'll do it again.
Yep.
Damn, I'm not letting my guard down anytime soon.
Don't do that.
Exactly right.
I will let out at least a modicum of a relief sigh, and I did, and will rest a little bit on that laurel. So,
yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And again, realizing that this is officially the last show of the 20th year, so I'm, couldn't be more pleased to have had you two here to share this moment.
Rock on, Larry. That's an outstanding anniversary. Good for you.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, it is kind of stunning to think about it, and a number of venues over the years, but pretty consistently at at certain ones. So it wasn't just hopping all around. And the goal is to get back to live performing at some point. Yeah. I mean, there are those that have returned to that fold, but I'm not quite ready to do it yet. And to be honest, the being virtual like this has, I think, been helpful in a lot of ways. Number one, in terms of just performing, you're like right there. There's something about the seeing yourself perform, but also just making the shows available to a much bigger audience than would normally show up at a show. And I will, as I mentioned to David and Carey earlier, I'm making sure that these get posted on to YouTube now so if anyone is not able to access it via Facebook, and should Facebook, metaverse itself into oblivion with what's going on with Twitter, but it's kind of, fascinating to watch and horrifying at the same time. But, YouTube, I think, ain't going nowhere. So this is be available for folks to watch later. So I will, again, I'm getting into my end of show mode. I will shut up. I will say thanks again and give a hand to David Hinske.
Pleasure to be here. My pleasure to be here. It's so
Carey
nice to
and
meet
Farrell.
Carey and see you again, Larry.
I'm your host, Larry O'Dean, low these many years. And so have a great holiday, you guys. Holidays, I should say, since it's that time of year. And we can do the official sign off and wave, but then don't take off. Let's wait till we get off the air, and then we can start really swearing.
So many dick pics.
So thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us for Dick Pics. And we'll see you next month on the third Friday. Here we go.
I'll be right back.